Imate prijatelje.
Major Bartleben, VMM 266, Osprey pilot.
Stasser McDowell, VMM 266, crew chief mechanic.
So Major, can you tell me something general about the airplane?
It's the best of both worlds. It's a helicopter and an airplane. Spend the majority of our time in airplane mode, going fast, taking care of business.
It's a unique swing role regarding the capability to carry troops and cargo, allows it to take off like a helicopter. Why? How is that operationally being proven?
We just got back from a 26 MU deployment out on the ship for 9 months, and out there pretty much limited to a helicopter takeoff or a short takeoff, and gives us capability to be able to do a short takeoff, carry about 10,000 pounds more of fuel or cargo, which extends our range out to around 1,000 nautical miles. So it gives us quite a reach from the ship.
Maintenance-wise, is it more complicated considering its tilt rotor and all that technology?
Well, being a tilt rotor, it is more complicated than a conventional helicopter or aircraft, but as far as complications in doing the maintenance, it's very straightforward. The aircraft has the ability to tell us what is wrong with it, greatly increasing the chances of fixing the problem quickly and getting the aircraft back up to operational status.
For a warfighter, it's imperative that the airframe can be repaired on site. How are your experiences regarding that?
As far as repairing the airframe, it's a composite airframe, so it's part metal and part carbon fiber composite. So repairs are easy to do in the field. It doesn't take a lot of equipment to be able to do. And due to the strength of the aircraft itself, we don't have to do large repairs for a small piece of damage. We can fix just that specified point, and the aircraft's back to where it needs to be.
Regarding the training of the maintenance crews, is it prolonged because of its complexity or something along those lines?
Nope. The training as far as getting a person who has no experience at all up to an experienced level is fairly straightforward. It's the same process we go through for any other aircraft in the Marine Corps. So they start off easy, they work their way up. In a matter of a year to a year and a half, they're fully qualified, capable of fixing this aircraft anywhere.
What other Marines you're hauling telling you about the airframe?
They love it. Anybody wants to get somewhere twice as fast. So wherever we take them, it's good for them just because they have less time on the aircraft, and we get them, we can go a greater distance, and it's much more comfortable once you're in airplane mode. A lot less vibration, and it's a lot cooler at altitude. So it's a great capability to get to the warfighter, and be able to move them from ship to shore.
So the development program is long over. It's operational now. Can we dispel the negative comments that can be heard that it's unsafe?
Yeah, I've been flying for 6 years with Staff Sergeant, and we don't worry about it at all. It is a safe aircraft. It's capable. It's actually getting easier to work on over time as we become more accustomed to it, and have no issues at that point.
Quick question: is it a plane or a helicopter?
It's both. Depends on what you want to be. And it can become confusing for people, but we can slow down or go fast. So we try to blend in.
Maintenance-wise,
it's both. Once again, it's got control services of an aircraft and a helicopter, so pretty much working on both types of aircraft all the time.
What does the Osprey mean? Like it's a Indian tribe thing, or?
No, the Osprey is a sea eagle. So it's a bird that captures things in the sea.
Starting from the back of the aircraft, as you can see, it's got airplane flight control services. That's very obvious on the normal aircraft. You got elevator, rudders. So the back of the plane looks like an airplane. The wings, once again, the same as a conventional airplane. You have what we call flaperons, a mixture of ailerons and flaps. And then you have the helicopter portion. So you have 6 rotor blades, full swash plates, works just like a conventional helicopter. V-22 uses conventional tricycle landing gear system, so it's just like a typical airplane. It's very stable, very strong, very robust, able to land on from a paved surface to a completely unimproved surface, rocks, sand, etc. It's nothing really special forward. It's a typical cockpit you would see, on a helicopter or an airplane. So it's 2 pilots that sit side by side up front. and then you have the cabin directly behind it. And then further around to the front, you have all your typical airplane or helicopter sensors, PDOT tubes, and normally this aircraft has aero refueling capability. The Pro would be installed in the nose.
So here we are in the MV-22 cockpit. Can you give me a short overview of the cockpit of the instrument positions and things like that?
Sure, just go around. We got a cyclic that we maneuver the aircraft with, some MFDs that put up our maps and our flight instruments, a flight director panel for autopilot, and we come down here to our ICAS, to where we monitor all our instrumentation for our engines and our hydraulics and whatnot, some keyboards to mission plan and to do navigation, and then we come down to the main piece. We got the TCL. It is how we control the aircraft. In a helicopter, you'd have a collective and an up and down movement. Here we got the TCL. When you go forward in helicopter, you're just going to lift off, then you come back down this way. When you're in an airplane, then forward is going to be faster and back is going to be slower. To make that differentiation, you've got a wheel right here. Probably see it better on your other side. I'm going to show it real quick. It's that little gray wheel. And so that little gray wheel makes our left-hand thumb very important. That's what we use to move the nacelles from 90 to 0. And that's how we turn it from a helicopter to an airplane, and where the real magic happens. Going to be able to do both worlds. You can do it in 12 seconds. So we can go from a hover to airplane mode and probably doing about 220 knots in about 12 seconds. One of the best things flying it is that you have the capability to either do a running takeoff or to take off vertically. So it gives us that option. When we do a running takeoff, we can bring the nacelles down and take off pretty much like a normal airplane does, and then rotate, or we can take off vertically, just depending on the zone we're operating from or the runway. And then once you turn into an airplane, we do beep the engines down from 100% RPM at airplane or in helicopter mode, and then they come down. We go to 84%. Makes it more efficient, less vibration, and reduces the strain on the airplane and on the passengers, people flying it. Then we climb up to altitude. Usually climb 2,000 to 4,000 feet per minute, and we get up there much cooler, much more efficient. And at that point we're in an airplane. We can transit as far as we need to. We can air refuel off any other aircraft out there, or we can land to get gas and then continue a flight in airplane mode.
Regarding the emergency procedures, like classic planes have like one engine out.
We have those same capabilities. We have a shaft that connects both the engines and the transmissions. So if we lose one engine, the other engine is going to power it. We're able to fly just like a normal airplane would. We would come in and do the exact same run on landing that we do normally. We can carry 24 Marines in the back. We have seats for 24. We have cargo capacity for that same amount of space. And roughly around the 50,000 pounds is for vertical takeoff, and around 60,000 pounds for a rolling takeoff.
Well, MV-22 has a very spacious and usable cargo space. Starting from the ramp system alone, it opens up quite wide. You can fit small vehicles. Troops easily ingress and egress without any clearance problems. We got a ramp system which can be slid out in to accommodate different wheelbases and different pieces of gear. Also have a cargo roller system that you can flip over and go the whole length of the aircraft. So for resupply missions, it's very easy to load and offload gear very quickly. And then into the cabin you have 24 crew seats, which are all crash safety worthy. They're all stroked down, making the survivability of an accident very, very higher than a typical aircraft.
So all these wires are not covered because to be easily accessed, right?
Correct. We keep them uncovered and accessible because it makes the maintenance effort a lot easier. You can see a problem very quickly. You can find a problem, and then you can fix that problem and get in that aircraft back up and ready. You have 3 windows in the back for escape purposes if you need to, and situational awareness for the crew. You also have another emergency hatch located right above the ramp, right here.
Yeah.
Primary ingress and egress for troops or cargo or anything is through the ramp system due to the speed and the ease of putting them in and out. Aircraft has a ECS system, environmental control, so we can regulate the temperature in the back of the aircraft. If we're up very high and it's very cold, we can close the aircraft up, turn the heat on, make it, the troops, cargo, whatever it requires, very comfortable. And so that way everybody's ready to do what they need to do at that next point. We're also capable of putting, cargo
Yeah.
loaded all the way to the front of the aircraft. We can install auxiliary fuel tanks.
Oh.
You can put 3 of them inside the aircraft. Each one
Increase range.
greatly increasing the range. And then if you aero refuel at the same time, you can refuel all the tanks and the aircraft itself from your aero refueling system.
Okay.
Very long range aircraft. Other than that, so from a crew perspective, I have access to the cockpit. So if they're focused on flying, I can focus on the aircraft systems. And at the same time, I can close the aircraft up. If we're in a harsh environment where there's sand and dirt everywhere, cockpit's completely sealed. It doesn't affect their flying at all, it makes the aircraft even more safe.
What's their experience with brownout conditions and?
Brownout conditions, I've done it a lot. We do it deliberately to practice. And brownouts, from a crew's perspective, I usually have the door open. I can still see the ground, so I've still got a visual reference of where we are. I saw where we were going. I know where we are. And the pilots, they have the glass cockpit system where it can tell them exactly where he is, airspeed, altitude, everything. So he pretty much lands the aircraft from a inside perspective. He doesn't have to use the outside. The outside's for me. So he just focuses and listens to what I say. If I say it's good, we're good, we go continue landing. But
So
brownouts are no issues in this aircraft.
basically, you love the plane.
Yes, I love this aircraft. This aircraft is great. It has not let me down one time, and it hasn't failed to perform anything that I didn't think it could do.